Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another one of my live videos. And today I'm just going to be officially updating you on some more current latest news. There's a lot more things that I've currently updated in the press today. I've usually by today now done a live video about it now, but as I've been at college all day, just to notify all you people that I haven't had time. But I have reading the reports about what's been going on in the press, and this is now about Manchester United and currently Jose Mourinho's position at the club. We know he's received a lot of criticism as Jose Mourinho. You know, his tactics, his tactical game plan's wrong. His team selections wrong as well. His Jose Mourinho's now. We're currently sitting in a position. We're not in a commanding position that that we should be in. You know, we're sitting eighth with 12 points from top, 7 points behind top four. And it's what it's basically mentioned in the press is if Manchester United don't get top four by the end of the season, Jose Mourinho said he's still convinced we can get the top four. If we don't get the top four by the end of the season, we don't get Champions League football for next season. Jose Mourinho's job will be under series. Jose Mourinho's job will be under series threat. You know, consider the amount of money he's spent. He's just spent under £400 million. You know, on 11 players. And Jose Mourinho, he's won 3 trophies since he's come to the club. This is third in now in the process with Manchester United. But there's reports coming out today from the press. There's quite a lot to talk about. Reportedly, you know, Jose Mourinho hasn't had a good relationship, you know, especially with the top players, you know, including Paul Pogba and Anthony Martial, who's been in fantastic form lately. But reports are coming out saying, you know, some of the players, as I updated you yesterday, some of the players are not happy with Jose Mourinho. They're not satisfied with Jose Mourinho due to his tactics and due to his reluctance to drop new Man United matches. So basically, he's being reluctant to drop new Man United matches because a lot of Man United, some of the players want to see him dropped. A lot of United fans want to see him dropped in Man United matches. We know Jose Mourinho keeps lagging. Sorry, Jose Mourinho does have a good relationship with Nemanja Matic. You know, I thought he started well when he came to Manchester United, but he hasn't been on form this season. I think he's been rubbish for like 7 or 8 months now as Nemanja Matic. So definitely he needs to be dropped. You know, because potentially Matic and Fellaini in that midfield, you know, it looks very, very static. And for me, Jose Mourinho got Fred in the summer. That cost us nearly £50 million. Fred should have started at the weekend. As I said, Matic definitely needs to be dropped. When you've got a midfield three, Jose Mourinho went with Fellaini, Matic and Herrera as a midfield three at the weekend against City. And that's just static. There's no tempo. There's no creativeness. Where's the creativeness there in the midfield when you've got two tall players in there, you know, such as Fellaini and Matic? I thought Fellaini, to be quite fair, at the weekend played quite well. I thought he won a lot of headers at the weekend against Manchester City. 4 defeats now in 12 games. Potentially, I would start to a season, you know, especially under Mourinho. You know, we didn't even have this bad start to a season, you know, under David Moyes, who only lasted 9 months. We didn't even have this bad start to a season, you know, with Louis van Gaal. So there's serious problems. We've been in a good running form, you know, before the Manchester City game, but the performances need to improve. Jose Mourinho's style of play is atrocious. His managerial style at Manchester United is atrocious. And I just think the strappings of these clubs at the moment is looking realistically just too high for Jose Mourinho to cope with, and there's a lot of Manchester United fans that want to see him out. Defensively, he's looking to sanction Eric Bailly and Marcus Rojo to get a new centre back in. He's looking for a new attacker as well to lead the lines, Romelu Lukaku. But Mourinho's been criticised for this because he should have played Sanchez at the weekend. He didn't. We know he's not in good form. He should have started Fred, who he paid £50 million for. He started Juan Mata from the start as well. Even you know, he did bring Mata on as a sub. He should have brought even Fred on as a substitution, and he didn't. So where's Jose Mourinho's plan B in this situation? You know, I think he's still playing players slightly out of position. We've got a lot of players at their end of their deals as well. But Mourinho, as you noticed, he said Fellaini had ruined his game plan, but in his press conference he didn't mention Nemanja Matic's performance, which was atrocious at the weekend. I thought Herrera was bad at the weekend. To be quite fair, recently Herrera hasn't started much from the start of the season, and I think lately Herrera has played very, very well, but I think against Manchester City was atrocious. Why would we park the bus against Manchester City? Because we've still got big games coming up with Arsenal, Liverpool coming up. Why would you park the bus against a team like Manchester City? Because you basically are going to get punished. Potentially the best team in English football who invested a lot of money. Pep Guardiola's got a fantastic philosophy. He's got this team playing very, very well, but he's emulated the style of play and the football he did at Bayern Munich and Barcelona. He's won 24 trophies in his career. He's broken records. and he's emulated the football he's done there, and he's brought it to Manchester City. More than half the money he's spent, has been spent on Manchester City as Pep Guardiola. Potentially City didn't even get out of third gear. They played very, very well. That's not the best they can play. It could have been 4 or 5-0 in that game, and their third goal was basically a 44 pass move. I just can't see anyone stopping Manchester City because they basically just are too good. We did it last season because we went against City. We was 2-0 down. We came back and won by 3-2. We know we didn't have Paul Pogba at the weekend. So Jose Mourinho said we didn't have Pogba due to his injury, so he had to put Fellaini instead of Pogba. But for me, Fellaini did well, quite fair, but he shouldn't be playing in the big games, especially against the likes of City. He should have put Fred in that midfield. He should have started Mata. He should have started Sanchez. We know he brought Lukaku on as a substitution. I think his first touch is woeful. Everyone talks about him being a good game. He hasn't been in great form this season compared to last season. Lukaku had missed the 2 previous games. Sorry, it's lagging, guys. I don't know why. Had missed the 2 previous games before substitute against Manchester City. But we know the manager is under serious pressure. There's been reportedly talks. So Jose Mourinho's got to meet this expectation. He has to meet this expectation level, or his job will be under serious set. So we've got to get the top 4 and get Champions League for next season for maybe Jose Mourinho's job to be saved at Old Trafford. Reportedly, the board have been backing him due to being in before the Manchester City defeat. Reportedly he's going to get £100 million spending in January. He's going to be discussing this with Ed Woodward. He's still convinced we can get to the top 4. Jose Mourinho. Do you remember when he said in his press conference, if you go on stats in a game, they don't understand football. The only shot on target we had in the game was the penalty, and that was him. Had like 5 goals in now 6 games, to be quite fair to him. But reportedly, we've heard over the last few weeks. Sorry, it keeps lagging, guys. We've heard over the last few weeks about potentially new managers coming to replace Mourinho if Mourinho is sacked. A lot of United fans want him out. Reportedly, Conte has been mentioned in the press. Man United may consider going for Conte to replace Mourinho if Mourinho does get sacked. This is stemming from the Italian report that reportedly Manchester United is setting Conte to take over Old Trafford if Mourinho does depart. Conte, as I said, it was Premier League proven because he's done it with Chelsea, won the Premier League and FA Cup with Chelsea. Also won honours with his time at Juventus, managed Atlanta, and he played for Juventus in his senior career as well. He's won Serie A Coach of the Year, Premier League Manager of the Season when he was in the Premier League with Chelsea. Potentially, would you want Conte to come to Old Trafford to replace Mourinho? And then maybe Conte would be able to suss out, if some of these players were good enough for Manchester United. But Mourinho's got a fantastic pedigree, because he's proven, everywhere he's been, he's won titles, and it just hasn't worked out since he's come to United. Is it the players that are playing for him? He's making wrong decisions as well. Don't get me wrong. But potentially, we could see a few players leave in January as well. Reportedly, there's reports coming out as well about Alexis Sanchez, who hasn't made an impact since he's come to the club. He's felt unsettled. He was good during his Arsenal days with Wenger for 4 or 5 years, so good with underneath, good with Barcelona, especially when he was alongside David Villa and Messi, in his younger days. But we've only had him since January, involved in a swap deal with Qatari, and he's on £500,000 a week, the highest paid player. Alexis Sanchez reportedly, it did say PSG are interested in him. He could potentially leave in January, could potentially leave next summer. PSG were linked with him last year, something like that, a year or so ago. Reportedly now, Real Madrid have been mentioned as a target for Sanchez to go to. Reportedly, as confirmed, that Sanchez's representatives have been in discussion with Real Madrid about maybe Sanchez making a potential move to Real Madrid. I think a lot of Manchester United fans want to see him leave. He's only scored 4 goals since he's come to the club. He can play numerous positions. He's tenacious, he's creative, he's proven himself well in the past, but he mainly operates in that number 7. But I just don't think he's doing well since he's come to Old Trafford, Alexis Sanchez. So that's the thing about it. We've also heard about potential other managers maybe coming in to replace Mourinho. We heard the rumours about Zidane, who's got a good pedigree with Madrid, had a good pedigree with Juventus. Reportedly, Zidane had been about a month ago, had been in talks with his representatives about coming to managing English football. We know he's never had the experience of managing English football as well. So a lot of United fans are Mourinho out. As I said, we're not in a commanding position that we should be. He hasn't not at all since he's come to the club during his tenure met the expectation levels. We're not even up there competing at the moment. As I said, we're 12 points behind top. We're 7 points from top four. It's just basically not good enough. And that performance at the weekend was atrocious. Parking the bus against Manchester City, playing defensively. You know, you've seen it a few times with Jose Mourinho playing defensively. You know, in big games. You know, we saw it with Liverpool. Was it last year? He played defensively. He needs to stop playing defensively, does Jose Mourinho, and pick the right team. You know, with Nemanja, as I said, with Nemanja Matic in that midfield, you know, you could put basically three players in his position. You could put Fellaini there. You could put Andres Pereira there, who scored a wonder goal in pre-season against Liverpool. I don't think he's played this season, Pereira, in the league, in fact, from my knowledge. So you could put Pereira there, Fellaini there, Fred there, who we paid £50 million for. So Matic needs to be dropped, but Jose Mourinho has a lot of respect and faith for Matic. So I doubt Jose Mourinho's going to go along with what's being suggested out. The players are annoyed with it, that he's basically being reluctant to drop Nemanja Matic, and Matic needs to be dropped. He is the key problem in this situation because he hasn't performed well for 7 or 8 months. Fellaini, to be fair, played well yesterday, but that midfield is static, I thought, against Man City. Lingard, Martial and Rashford were poor, but they couldn't done out because they couldn't get from that. When you've got a lethargic and static midfield, where the pass is coming from to lead to your attackers, there's no passes. We couldn't even string 2 or 3 passes together in that game without losing the ball. Matic was partly to blame for Manchester City's third goal as well. But also to confirm, I think, you know, I don't think Jose Mourinho knows his best 11 at the moment, and Jose Mourinho really needs to address this out. You know, Jose Mourinho basically is looking to sanction Riley and Rojo off in the January window and look for a strong centre half. He wants an attacker up front with Lukaku, and that we know Martial and Rashford have been full in his spot. To be fair, in terms of Lindelof, I think Lindelof's improved this season to be quite far. I think when he first came, it took him time to settle in. He didn't really settle in, but obviously recently Jose Mourinho's going with the centre-back partnership of Victor Lindelof and Smalling. Bailey can't even get Bailey, you know, he's sanctioned them off because Bailey can't even get into the team at the moment. It reportedly came out that AC Milan were linked with him last week or something like that. He's only made 7 appearances this season, you know, as Eric Bailey. He has suffered with injuries since he's come to the club. I can't remember, you know, when Marcus Rojo played as well. But he's also another player coming to an end of his deal, is Eric Bailey. But reportedly, Jorginho's looking to cash in for the player in January, also looking to cash in for Rojo in January as well, and bring a strong centre half in at the club. But a lot of managers' names have been mentioned to replace Jose Mourinho's at Old Trafford. I think he's clueless. I think the strappings of the club's too high for him. Shouldn't be really saying that because with his history, you know, and with this club's history, you know, we had 3 decades nearly of success with Alex Ferguson, you know, but considering Mourinho's history, considering this club's history, we should be, and considering the amount of money we spent, you know, overall, all in all, managerials, which is like £1 billion or just over, you know, we should now be in much more of a commanding position, you know, that we should be. I just don't think Jose Mourinho has a clue about his tactics. Where's his game plan? Where's his plan B? He's just totally getting it wrong. At this moment in time, he needs to give Pereira the chance, give Fred the chance he paid £50 million for, give Doyle the chance at that full-back position, you know, when he recovers from his knock injury. I don't know if he's still got that knock injury. He recently did have a knock injury, did Doyle as well. But potentially for me, Ashley Young's a right winger as well. He played right wing for England, played a right wing during his in his Aston Villa days as well, did Ashley Young. But obviously he's been playing him in that full-back position due to Antonio Valencia's absence because he's been suffering a mouth injury as well. He said Man United are reportedly in talks of signing Ashley Young another 1-year deal. He's been here since 2011. You know, we got him for 20 million for Aston Villa, so he's experienced the good times at Old Trafford. So he's been here like, is it 7, 8 years or something like that? Ashley Young, to be fair, I think he's established himself well. I prefer him in that right wing role. Antonio Valencia, Man United are also in negotiation with him of signing him a 1-year deal with Ashley Young. Valencia, who's been here since like 2008-9, so he has been here like a decade as Valencia. He's also experienced the good times at Manchester United as well as Antonio Valencia. We got him from Wigan. I do really like Valencia. He's our most essential right fullback. Is Antonio Valencia. Obviously, so reportedly Man United are in talks of securing him another 1-year deal at the club as well. But these players will stay as long as we're up there competing and winning silverware. And we're not doing that at the moment. And players are to blame. Mourinho's to blame for the decision he makes. I can't get my head around it, especially, and Mata for me can operate himself well on that right, but I think he's better in that number 10 position in the middle, and that's basically just my opinion on this situation, guys. So they're basically bored of stressed out. If Jose Mourinho doesn't get Champions League football, at the end of the season we don't get top four, Jose Mourinho's job will be under serious threat. I think majority of the Manchester United fans want him out because you can't play defensively against Manchester City. They're presumably the best team now in English football. A lot of money spent. They've got world class. They're all absolutely fantastically well. I hate Manchester City, but I've got to be honest, they're a great side to watch. Last season, how many games did they lose? The only teams that beat City last season, from my knowledge, was us and Liverpool. They were the only teams that beat them. Look at the record. Manchester City's last 40 games. When they've been leading, they've lost once in their last 40 games. From a winning position, they've only lost once. So that is an amazing statistic. Aguero's now scored 8 goals against Manchester United. When we had Alex Ferguson, we beat Manchester City in 18 of our 32, Premier League games, under Alex Ferguson. But what manager would you want in at Manchester United? What manager do you think could change the style of play around? What manager would you want to see? Who's got that good inspiration? Who's got that confidence? You'd want a manager, that can suss out whether this team's good enough or not. For me, if Jose Mourinho picks the right 11, we have got a good enough squad to at least finish in the top 4. That is my opinion. We know Pogba's had disputes with Jose Mourinho in the past. Pogba were very, very good during his Juventus days. He won honours. He made 179 appearances. There's been talks that he could potentially make a return back to Juventus. For me, he cost us £89 million. Don't forget. I think he has the odd good game here and there, but I just don't think he suits Premier League football, and he isn't doing it at Manchester United. He was very, very good in Italy with Juventus, don't get me wrong, for 4 or 5 years or so, was Paul Pogba. He's had disputes with Mourinho, called into Raiola, currently Pogba's agent, that the relationship between Mourinho and Pogba now is being mended, so they no longer have disputes, Pogba and Mourinho. But I think the best player for Manchester United on Sunday against City was Marion Fellaini, so I do really, really credit him. But Jose Mourinho against Crystal Palace after international break, he's got to get prepared. Think about what he's done wrong and get the tactics right. Drop Matic, put Fred in there, or put Pereira in there, or even put Fellaini in there, because you could put 3 players in Nemanja Matic's position. Herrera, maybe start him. You could maybe start Herrera, give him a bit more game time from the start, because in his last 2 he has played from the start. Also with Herrera, he's coming to an end of his deal as well. Man United are potentially going to be, or are going to be, in talks of securing him a new deal. He comes to an end of his deal soon, does Ander Herrera at the club as well. He played more from the start, under Louis van Gaal, did Ander Herrera, to be quite fair. We've had him since 2014 at the club. Also to confirm, Anthony Martial, it did say he had been recalled back into the France squad. Reportedly now it's in the BBC that reportedly him and quite a few other players with him have been withdrawn from the France squad. Martial's been withdrawn from the France squad. So too was Paul Pogba. So too was Arsenal's Lacazette. And another player as well. But reportedly Anthony Martial, his performances have been fantastic. Got good Junaid's talent. He'll grow and develop more. Very good. Very, very good for France as well. Very, very good, when he was at Lyon, when he risen up the ranks in Monaco, Anthony Martial. Reportedly, he's coming to an end of his deal as well. He currently turned the previous contract offer down. Current representatives being discussions about signing a new deal at the club. Reportedly, it came on the press the other day, Man United willing to offer him $45 million a year and for him to sign a 5-year deal. But he does have the option on his current deal to sign a further year extension on it, does Anthony Martial. So we've got about, 9-10 players at the moment that are coming to the end of the deals. But yeah, Jews do want Jose Mourinho away. For me, it's basically like year 1 again with Jose Mourinho, because that was an embarrassment on Sunday. Embarrassment for the club, embarrassment for the players, and embarrassment for the fan base as well to go and watch that. And for me, I just don't think, Mourinho's got a good history, but I just don't think at the moment he's got the stature at this moment in time to command this team and to command us in a better position than we're in now. We need to graduate to that top level because we're nowhere near on the same level as City. Now we're nowhere near on the same level as Liverpool. We're nowhere near on the same level as the European teams, especially as we used to be back under the Fergie days because we had all them fantastic players. And we had a lot of bad games under Fergie, but he had that fear factor. He knew how to win games. And, Mourinho for me is just clueless at this club. You saw with Moyes, we finished 7th. That's the lowest we've finished all in all. With Moyes, he didn't have the stature to command us in that position. He was an average manager, never had a good pedigree. He did well with Everton, but in terms of silverware, he never had a good pedigree. Van Gaal had a good pedigree with Munich. But as I said, he didn't have the right philosophy at United. Jose Mourinho, as I said, has got a fantastic history. But since he's come to the Manchester United era, he just doesn't know what he's doing at this moment in time. I have credit in some games because he has got it right, and some games you do blame the players for it, but these performances are just not acceptable. With Juan Mata's future, I don't know what's going to be happening with Juan Mata, guys, to be quite honest. We said in the press the other day that Arsenal were keen on getting Juan Mata on the free transfer next summer. Umar has obviously worked with Mata in the past during his days with Valencia. He was very, very good in his Chelsea days as well, 3 or 4 years. So he's been in the Premier League now 8 or 9 years as Juan Mata. I still think he's a very good, consistent player. Doesn't have much pace about him, but definitely Jose Mourinho should have started him on Sunday. Arsenal looking to go for him on the free transfer next summer. If Man United are willing to sell him, they'll either cash in for the player in January rather than let him go on the free next summer. But I can't see Juan Mata leaving. I hope Juan Mata doesn't leave because he's still a very, very good, consistent player. It was good when he risen up the ranks with Real Madrid. The team he first began. We made 174 appearances for Valencia during his days. Under Unai Emery at Arsenal's now he's potentially looking for a replacement for Ramsey because Ramsey's a good box-to-box midfielder. Obviously Arsenal have told Aaron Ramsey he's not going to be getting a new contract at the current club. This is what it basically said. So they're looking for potential replacement for him. Mata, I do highly rate him. I think he's a very, very good player. He came on in the Manchester Derby, but he should have started from the start instead of Jesse Lingard. Because Lingard were bad on Sunday. I think all the front three were bad on Sunday. Because they just couldn't get the ball strung to them. They couldn't feed on them passes because we had so much of a static midfield, so that they couldn't capitalise on them passes because the passes weren't going through to the attackers with such a static midfield. Fred should have been in there, or Pereira should have been in there. That's my opinion on the situation. As I said, Bailey, Jose Mourinho's looking to cash in for the player because he's coming to the end of his deal. As I said, he can't even get into the Manchester United team at the moment. Phil Jones, I can't remember when he was in the last time was he was in the squad. He's reportedly Man United are going to reportedly be in discussions to sign him another further year deal on his current contract as well because he's been here since 2011-12. When we got him from Blackburn, £17 million. He suffered from injuries since he's come to the club. Well, we've conceded 21 goals this season in the Premier League. That is really, really bad. And I criticise Jose Mourinho. Why is he refusing not to drop Matic? Why is he being reluctant to drop Matic? This is why the players are not satisfied with Jose Mourinho. He shouldn't be reluctant to drop Matic. If Matic is playing bad and he isn't performing up to scratch, Jose Mourinho says, there's the problem. I'll rest him on your Matic for at least a couple of games at least. And he hasn't even done this. So, because obviously he has a lot of respect for Nemanja Matic. I think a few players need dropping in that squad. For me, Lukaku, I think we do look better without him, to be quite honest with you. I think he was very, very good last season, but his first touch is worth. He did get us the penalty on Sunday. I'd prefer, obviously he's looking for an attacker in the January window. I'd prefer, my opinion, Rashford up front or Martial centrally instead of Romelu Lukaku. That's just basically my opinion. We know Mourinho has missed out on a lot of potential targets since he's come to the club, and that is understandable. He has missed out on a lot of targets. He's in Harry Maguire, Toby Alderweireld, reports that Man United and the numerous other teams are interested in Nathan Ike. It's a shame we didn't get Perisic because good two-footed player, good in the air, can put balls into the box. But as I said, we'll have to see what happens after the international break. More things will update in the press as well. Reportedly, Conte could now be replacing Mourinho at Old Trafford. A lot of United fans want Mourinho out now. But Lindelof, reportedly, due to his good performances, he's been good, I think, this season, to be quite fair. He's improved. Reportedly, he won the Swedish player of the year, Swedish player of the year as well. Did Victor Lindelof, so that's good to see as well. But anyway, guys, that's everything to update today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do consider subscribe to the channel as always, and take care. God bless, guys, and I'll see you all again very, very soon. Bye.